scary. It's always scary to come up here and talk. I'm not usually a talker, but when God asks to do something for Him, it's always a privilege, and also to be able to share to the church. It's also a privilege of mine. It's also something that I take the opportunity and try to share God's word. When I was about to talk about how I'm going to start, it was totally different in my head to what I'm going to do now. After hearing Sister Melody and Brother Irwin's testimony, it encouraged me to share as well how I came to Christ. I was always a believer of Christ, but I never followed through, or never shared, never read the Bible. But I believed in Him. I believed that He was there. I was also a Catholic before I became a Christian. But my main reason why I fully grasped onto Christ, I fully held on to Him, is what happened to me a couple of years back. I'll share a little bit of it. Some of you guys already know, some of you guys don't. So I'd like to share my testimony on how I came to know Christ, and also it's also fitting because of what I'm going to talk about, or the verses that I have. My topic is God is in control. So I think it's just fitting that I share my testimony to you guys. So a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, well, even before that, I was married, and it lasted for about 10 years, and throughout that marriage we had differences, we had challenges, just like any other marriage. But a couple of years ago, she decided to. I have my wrongs in a relationship. Everyone does. Both parties have wrongs in a relationship. It's something that is normal in a relationship, but it's working through it is the main thing. Is how you guys work together. But we failed to work together. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I have wrongs in myself and in my relationship, but for what she did was not. It wasn't deserving for me. Okay. I'll tell you how God is in control of everything that we do, and even in my life. I'll just give you an example in my life. A couple of months before, maybe 6 months before, my wife put an ABO on me, and left the house empty. I came home after work, and the place was just totally. It was like a hurricane ripped through it. There was not a furniture in the house except a bed. She was nice enough to leave me a bed and a toothbrush. So I guess she still has some sort of care. Jokes aside. So 6 months before that, I was walking through Southgate in Sylvania. I was going to go to Coles to get some groceries, and then I see Pastor and Sister Marjorie. But before that, there was a problem with them and my ex-wife. So I was kind of involved in it. So when I saw them, I tried to avoid them. Right? I did. Then I went to Coles. I went to Woolies. I got my stuff, came back out, said, okay, I'm going home. As I was coming out, who do I see? Pastor Arimathea and Sister Marjorie. It's like, yeah, well, okay, I'm going to have to go talk to them, right? So I spoke to them, I talked to them, we said hello. And back then, my auntie was going to church here at FCC. But see, me and my auntie, we didn't have a good relationship because of my ex-wife. We had that friction with my auntie and some of my family members because of her. Just because my auntie was still at this church and still connected with Pastor Emil and Sister Marjorie, that kind of gave us some sort of a bridge, right? My auntie was like a bridge between myself and the church with Pastor Emil and Sister Marjorie. Like I said, 6 months prior, before I was put into in a position where I didn't want to be, God was in control, and this is God's control, that He directed me to Pastor Emil and Sister Marjorie, right? Because during that COVID, everyone was in the LGA. You couldn't go 5 kilometers away from your house, right? So when she did that during COVID, I had no one to run to. My mom was all the way in Newcastle. I could call them, but as a human being, when you're going through some hardship, you need a body to hug, right? I love hugs. So whenever you guys want to give me a hug, hug me. I can gladly take it. No. So like I said, God's control is my relationship with Pastor Emil and Sister Marjorie was supposed to be severed because of my ex-wife. It was supposed to be done, right? We stopped going to FCC. We went to a different church. Went to a couple of different churches. I lost my way. I stopped going to church because I grew in FCC, pulling me out of somewhere I grew. I didn't feel comfortable in other churches. But God's control, He brought me back to them, and then went through all that stuff through COVID and isolation, and the church, Pastor Emil, Sister Marjorie, they were there for me, right? They supported me. John James is one of the first person that made me smile. I still don't know why. Their support was there. So that, in a sense, that's God's control, right? That's why I wanted to share that, because my topic is about the way God controls people's lives, this world, all of our situations. People control that. God controls that. So let me just read my verse, which I'm going to start from verse 42. I think I was supposed to start from verse 40, but there was a miscommunication somewhere. Okay, so 42. When evening